Today has been a very, 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 very sad day in the world of sports. Yesterday, 12 absolute greedy shitballs of soccer team owners announced the formation of a new European Championship, the European Super League, an invitational event where you're invited not based off your success in the last season, but based off how much money is in your pocket and how much money you can put in each other's pockets. The clubs with storied histories like Liverpool, Man United, Barcelona, Juventus, Real Madrid, along with clubs that haven't won shit in their history, like Tottenham, have come together to launch a full-out attack on the footballing world as we know it. It was all going fine. Clubs were coming out sharing how much they dislike this system, which would basically see guaranteed qualification for these 12 teams plus 3 more mystery teams that they claim they're going to get into the European Super League, where they would play each other in a league format, I'd assume. Now, this is already a huge issue because it basically makes your performance in the previous year pointless. What's there to play for in Prem if getting top 4 doesn't get you in the Champions League? Because this isn't to go along with the Champions League. This is the replacement for the Champions League. What's there to play for? It's not based on sporting merit at all, and it's disgraceful. These clubs need to be banned from their leagues. They need to be kicked out of the UCL this year. They need just no. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. A breakaway league? Are you fucking serious? There is no greater way to take your history and throw it down the fucking drain than this. Liverpool, disgraceful. I mean, that's the only way you can put it. Man United, disgraceful. I'm so fucking glad Bayern didn't join this shit. Okay? I love this team. But I would throw my love for this club away if they joined a power, money-hungry league and endeavor such as this one. It is ridiculous. The messages that chairman of the European Super League had for everybody tonight. It is ridiculous that this is even happening. They can't get relegated out of it. They are permanent members of this Supreme Championship. There is no motivation for the owners to do better to stay in the league, because they're in there for life. You can't even call it a European Super League because the 2 teams from last year's Champions League final aren't in it. The reigning European Championship is not in your replacement for the European Championship. Makes sense. Okay, but today there was the Liverpool-Leeds game, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Of course, this was a very highly covered match because there were protests outside. I can't remember the name of Leeds Stadium, but the Leeds players wore shirts for the Champions League saying "Earn It" across, and "Football is for the fans" on the back. It's not about money. These clubs are just greedy as shit, and it pisses me off. And so, anyways, the chairman of the European Super League, who coincidentally is also a president of a club that is a driving force behind a European Super League. His name? Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid. He went on a sports talk show or something. I don't really know. I don't speak Spanish. But we got some translated quotes here. I'm just going to go over the ones that really upset me the most. He started with saying that the major clubs of England, Spain, and Italy have to give a solution to the bad situation that football is experiencing. Okay, yeah. Football is in a tough place. I mean, no, like, I'm a Bayern fan, but, like, we've won the league the last 10 years. We've been unchallenged. Yeah, football's a very top-heavy sport. I wouldn't be opposed to some better restrictions to make it a challenge for Bayern to win the league. Okay? But that's not what he's talking about here. What he's talking about is that he pissed away his money. He pissed away Real Madrid's money. Okay? Because his very next point is there will be more competitive games, which will make everyone more money. Okay. Sure, Corona existed, but that affected the small clubs a lot more than it affected the big clubs. Well, they came to the conclusion that by doing the Super League instead of the Champions League, we could help the lost income. Okay, you lost income because, you didn't have fans, but okay. Here at Real Madrid, we lost the money and we're in a very bad situation. Madrid alone lost 400 million euros and nothing was being done about that. You're paying Gareth fucking Bale $600K a week to play fucking golf in England. You're rebuilding your stadium during times of coronavirus impact and you're complaining about funding. Maybe don't renovate your stadium. Okay, that could save you some money. Maybe don't spend 190 million euros on a 29-year-old Eden Hazard. Yeah, every club is facing a loss of income from the lack of fans. But that includes the small clubs that you're abandoning. Football is nothing without the small clubs. So he was asked about how this Super League, is going to make more money. He says that football is losing interest from fans. Well, that might be because clubs like yours, and clubs in England especially, got taken over by foreign owners and turned their back on the legacy fans. They went and they Americanized. They went and they Chinesified. Okay. 16 to 24-year-old fans of that age don't have an interest in football. Football needs to adapt to the new generations now. Now, clearly that's a fucking lie, because I'm 17. Okay, this dude is old as shit. He is disconnected from this generation. He has no fucking clue what he's talking about. The only decline you can have from the 16 to 24-year-olds is those that can't afford your fucking sport anymore. So, and then he was asked about how the Super League is a closed league. Teams can come into the Super League, he says. We never thought of that. It's not a closed league, and we always thought about sporting merit. If you thought about sporting merit, how the fuck are Tottenham and Arsenal in it? How the fuck? Okay, then he goes on to talk about how the Super League will earn much more money than the Champions League. Which, he's just talking money again. Greed. The new Champions League format, which is a joke in its own right, okay? Not even going to get into that here. Will not save football. I don't understand it. It won't help anything. Yeah, and neither is you taking you and your rich-ass friends and taking them away from the Cinderella stories we all love. I don't think a single person was or could have been disappointed when they saw Ajax going far in the Champions League a couple years ago. That was beauty. Cinderella stories like that are why you watch football outside of your own club. Leicester in the Prem. They're promoted. And within 2 seasons, they're challenging for a title and they win it. That's not going to be special anymore. It's just not going to happen. If you can't get people relegated out of the first division, you can't get people promoted into it to challenge for a title. The dream of your club rising from rags to the top of your league table is gone. He then claims that the Champions League is attractive only from the quarterfinals. To which I say, oh, so Bayern versus Lazio wasn't an attractive matchup. Okay, I get that. But Paris versus Barcelona in the round of 16, that was a pretty attractive matchup. There's attractive matchups in the group stages. I don't know what the fuck he's on about. Nobody cares about the games before. Well, that's just a fucking lie. Plenty of people care. He then claims that they haven't invited PSG and didn't talk to German clubs yet. Before immediately saying if PSG and Bayern Munich refuse the Super League competition will not be cancelled. So that's a lie. Contracts came out that said Paris had 14 days to accept the invitation to the Super League, and Bayern and Dortmund had 30. So, which is it there, Florence? Okay. He then says that everyone says the Super League is the rich clubs' leagues, when that's not true. It's the league to save football. Okay, if it's not the rich club leagues, then, like, why are all the teams involved rich as fuck? Literally invited the richest teams in the world, not based on sporting merit at fucking all. Once again, Tottenham, Arsenal, these teams suck. We don't want the rich teams to be richer and poor teams to be poorer. Well, you see, if all of a sudden the poor teams no longer play against the big teams, then doesn't that make the rich teams richer because they're just playing against other big teams in better matchups? And the poor teams poorer because no longer will a brand new side to like the third division of English football play against a Man United at home in your English Cup. Those funds they're huge for those teams. The ticket sales for cups. he then says that they have been working on this project for a long time. Which, if you've been working on it for a long time, how can you be working on it for a long time and it also just be a thing because, like, you lost money because of COVID? All of the clubs signed up for the Super League on Saturday, which would have been April 17th instead of the 18th. Wow. No one really cares when they signed up for it. Okay, they then showed an El Equipe poll made to 5 nations if they support a Super League. The numbers are so obviously fucking fake. They claim that 59% of English people support it. When an English polling agency, one that actually, is based in England, said that about 14% of English residents support it. That's... You're fucking Pinocchio over here. Okay, he then goes on to talk about how the youth spend too much time on their PlayStations and they're not interested in watching a full soccer match. And talks about how he wants to shorten a football match. These fools. A football match is 90 minutes. It's not 60, it's 90. Okay. He then says that they want to make it the same how basketball is, with an independent league like the Euro League, which I mean, basketball is not very popular in Europe, so. He continues to talk about how it's a battle for football, not money. But money has been his primary point this entire fucking interview. The big clubs will share the money like a pyramid. Wow, if only we already had a pyramid football system. Where, like, there's a lot of, like, lower teams. Then there's, like, the 3rd division. Then there's a 2nd division with small, slightly larger clubs. And then wow, if only we already had a footballing pyramid, So then he goes on to talk about how Real Madrid is falling apart, basically. So he's asked about Mbappe and says, "Don't worry." Dude, you just said you're 400 million euros in debt. How the fuck are you going to afford Mbappe? Oh, you're making a farce league so you can buy Mbappe. It's despicable what these clubs are doing. Every single one of these teams needs they need to They need to get fucking the boot from their domestic competitions. They need to get the boot from UEFA. They just need to fucking go. They are attempting to ruin football as it is known. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. There is a reason why I've know a good number of Detroit Lions fans who wish the NFL had promotion and relegation with a 2nd division. It puts pressure on the owners to make their teams better and avoid relegation. It doesn't just give them money for existing. You actually have to perform. It's despicable. That's all I can say about it. I'm disgusted. Players are disgusted. Fans are disgusted. We are once again seeing mass protests about this. we have supporters groups coming out saying they will not support their team anymore. The only supporters group I've seen come out and say they will continue to support their team in the Super League is the Norwegian Real Madrid supporters group. And that's probably just because they have Odegaard. If Odegaard speaks out about this shit, they probably will, switch their statement around. Speaking of Odegaard, in Florentino Perez's press conference, he confused Odegaard and Odriozola. How the fuck do you do that? I know this has been a long video. It's 20 minutes long. This was going to be like the longest video on my channel. But this is how I have to express myself. This is more emotion than I can fit in an Instagram story or a tweet. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the content, which you probably didn't, it's just a 17-year-old angry kid ranting at you. Like the video. If you liked it a little bit, consider hitting the subscribe button. It would mean a lot. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. I'll probably have another video sometime this week.